Dick and Liz Cheney went on the irrelevant Newsmax TV to promote their new book and speak to the irrelevant host, Steve Malzberg. And he's going to try to get them to pile on here about gay marriage. But watch what happens.
There's a Kentucky government employee who refuses to issue gay marriage licenses, and they have to go to the Supreme Court. Would not help that person out. Why should this person, is a government official, well, they have to uphold this Constitution, whatever they swore to, when the Attorney General of the United States, Eric Holder, didn't uphold DOMA, didn't enforce it. Obama doesn't enforce immigration laws. Right. What's your take on this person who refuses, under religious grounds, to issue marriage certificates to gay couples?
Right. Well, I don't know the details of the case, but the Supreme Court has ruled on the subject of same-sex marriage. It's the law of the land. And as a general proposition, it seems to me you've got to go forward with it.
I mean, this is what a lot of people fear, that the gay marriage ruling would lead to eventually churches and synagogues losing tax-exempt status for saying that marriage is between a man and a woman, and people think that this could be a step along that route.
Well, I think, as my dad said, it is the law of the land. The court has ruled. And she's not an employee of a church or a synagogue.
Right.
She's a government employee,
yes.
and so she has an obligation to uphold the law.
Steve Malzberg went on to say, I can't believe you disagree with me on this. Don't hit me. The Cheneys also went on to say, Steve, come on. We don't want to persecute the gays anymore. Don't you know all we want to do is kill innocent Muslims overseas? No, so here's the thing. Social conservatives are now so desperate, and they've moved so far to the right, that they even lost the Cheneys. That's wild. That's wild. But then again, this isn't really all that surprising, because there was some quote, I forget exactly what Cheney said, but I think it was when he was trying to get reelected with Bush, or after they had just been reelected, where he said something about we convinced all the country bumpkins or the religious loonies to vote for us. So in other words, he knew. He's one of those guys who really is just exploiting the religious right, and he did his whole career in order to just appeal to them to get into power so that he can act in his fascist ways. See, that's the thing about Dick Cheney. He's not in favor of theocracy. He's just in favor of fascism. I know it's like a half joke there, but it's kind of true. But they're also doing it because Liz has a gay sister, Cheney has a gay daughter, and it's the classic Republican hypocrisy of, I was against gays, but now my family member's gay, and I softened on the issue. Oh, I see. So when it was other people who were dealing with the oppression and were dealing with the horse shit, you were like, yeah, fuck them. Fuck them. I don't know any. But then when you know one personally, oh, yeah, I see what those liberals were talking about. It's amazing, man. But that really is, we've seen this time and time again with the right. Until it affects them personally, well, then, they'll be against it. But once it's somebody in the family, in the case of the Cheneys, they don't even necessarily really get out there and advocate for gay marriage. But the best you'll get for them is what you saw here. Oh, well, the Supreme Court has ruled, and that should be the end of it. Let's move forward.